Hi, Maria. Welcome to your month ahead reading for the month of November. Oops, I have cards in the wrong spot here. Okay, so I'm sure you know how this works already. We are going to talk about the card that represents like the overall theme of your month. And then we're going to break it down into your career, your love life, just personal life, and then just anything extra that you might need to know for the month of November. So first of all, we're going to look at the card that represents the theme of your November. And for this, we have Strength Reversed. So this means like any sort of perceived setbacks or finding yourself repeating patterns is basically just the universe's way of trying to realign you with where you should be. The universe wants you to like recognize those patterns so that you can actively work to change your situation. Everything might feel a little bit harder this month. You might be plagued by like being sluggish, tired, unmotivated, feeling like you don't have a lot of self-confidence, feeling vulnerable, those types of feelings. But that can all be solved by making sure that you take plenty of time this next month for yourself. Like taking time out for yourself and worrying about yourself instead of worrying about taking care of everyone around you in order for you to recharge your batteries. This card also wants you to know that you're so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. So this is going to be the main theme of this month, is just needing to remember this, needing to remember not to allow yourself to get dragged down by these feelings and to instead recognize them, recognize that you don't want to feel that way. And so you can actively do what you need to do to change it and like rise above those feelings of, low self-confidence and just feeling unmotivated. Okay. All right. So for your for your career, I drew the Knight of Swords in reverse, as well as this round and round card. It kind of echoes a little bit more of what this talked about. But when the Knight of Swords shows up in reverse, in a work sense, he can suggest that you're kind of hesitant to charge forward and take the lead, either because you are lacking the drive that you need, and again, lacking that self-confidence that we talked about. But whatever the case, it's like you know that there's something more that you could be doing, or perhaps you've been offered more in a job, or you just know that there's some sort of major change that you need to make, but for whatever reason, you are just not making it. Like you're fully aware of this, and you can tell that it needs to happen, but you're just not doing anything about it. And that's usually because, again, you feel like you aren't qualified to do it, or it's not going to work out. You just don't have the confidence, or you just simply do not have the drive and the motivation that you need to actually go through with it. And this round and round card is talking more about that pattern. I'm going to read it to you. That way we don't miss out on anything that might be important to you. And this is card number 25. Let me find that here. Okay, it says, if you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is the perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be a part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past? It's a good time to get a coach or a mentor who can help you see what you can't see on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going around and round. So there's definitely some sort of pattern that you tend to be stuck in, maybe not just in your career, but in other aspects of your life too. And it needs to be solved, because if it's not, you're just going to be stuck in this cycle of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. And that's the definition of insanity is, continuously doing the same thing and expecting it to somehow end up differently. But in order for it to truly end up differently and for things to change, you will have to change. You will have to make the changes necessary to see some sort of progress, some sort of progression happening within your life in this career sense, okay? All right, so for the month of November, when it comes to your love life, we see the Two of Swords and then this card here, Deep Knowing in reverse. So the Two of Swords, this basically means like you're at the standstill right now, kind of like feeling lost, not sure what to do, not sure where to go, can't see the path ahead of you because you've got this blindfold on, okay? It's also about like kind of being afraid to open up and be vulnerable with people. But the thing about this month of November for you, when it comes to your love life, you should really not focus on love and trying to find it, or basically don't focus on anyone else, because this month instead is all about you. This is about self-love, self-care, taking care of yourself first before anyone else. And I know that's hard when you have kids, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not really talking about family. I'm talking about just trying to seek out a partner, or I don't know if there's already someone that you're involved with. Whatever the case may be, these cards are telling you that November is all about you taking the time to get to know yourself, learn more about yourself, take care of yourself, and give yourself what you need. Because once you are happy, then you will be in the right state of mind to welcome the kind of love that you need in your life. And this card, Deep Knowing, I'm going to read this one to you as well. So hard to find these with one hand. I apologize. Okay, so this one says, you are in an empathy overload and need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for recharging your batteries. Set energetic boundaries, take a salt bath, empty your mind, and get back to you. It's not time to be too open. Soon enough you can let your guard down, but right now you need self-care and self-love. It's a time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? So again, this is telling you like you need to really take a step back from the energies of other people and really focus inward instead. That's going to be, or should be, your main focus for the month of November, okay? Now, the great news are these cards down here. I love seeing these because these are both very like celebratory cards. So I'm not sure if you've got things planned for November, if there's any sort of like big event happening. But according to this, there's going to be some sort of cause for celebration. This card is always referencing some sort of celebration or just happy times in general. And then we've got Treasure Island, which is all about manifesting what it is that you want out of life thanks to your positive perspective and having that good attitude, and shifting your beliefs from fear and doubt and not being good enough, and shifting that to always being positive and feeling like things are truly going to happen for you the way that you want, and all of those great things is going to just attract positive experiences into your life. Again, I will read it to you. I feel like I just keep saying that over and over again. Okay, so this one says, you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light the way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase. where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So again, these are two really positive cards that I've drawn here in this like personal part of the reading, where I kind of just leave it up to anything that's not related to work and career, but just, the stuff going on with you personally. And this can include family life, friendship, and anything like that. But kind of just let yourself intuitively get an idea of what this might be talking about. But yeah, these two, the combinations of these two are just really, really positive. And again, there might be some sort of celebration happening. This could be a wedding or a birth of a child or an engagement or just any positive event. It doesn't even have to be an event like a party or anything like that. It could just be, a simple good night that happens to you, or, just having a good time one of these days out of the month. But whatever it is, it seems like it's going to be impactful. But you're going to truly make the most out of it if you really take the advice of this card and focus all of your intention on having a positive mindset and not allowing any sort of negative feelings to bring you down and keep you in a negative state this month, okay? All right, so the last two cards, I just leave it open for any additional messages that the universe wants to deliver to you. And we have these two oracle cards. We have forgiveness, and then we have movement in reverse. This one kind of ties in with these cards up here. And I'm going to read these to you. We have forgiveness first. Let me find the book that goes along with that. Sorry, my kids are trying to come in and talk to me. Okay, so forgiveness says, drawing this marker says that you must now search your heart for any unresolved resentment, anger, or disagreements between you and another. If you're still hurt or angry about another's behavior, or if there are circumstances in your life that you resent, this is a time when it's crucial to release the negative energy surrounding those situations. Resisting this will only impede your growth and draw more unwanted experiences to you. Resentment and anger are emotions that actually bind you and hook you to the events that cause your suffering, keeping them alive inside you, draining you of your life force and inner light. Nothing good comes from hate, anger, or resentment. Peace can only come through forgiveness when you release all that binds you to the negativity. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself for placing unrealistic expectations on your situation, resulting in self-sabotaging perception tainted by perfectionism. Look at the world and see how the lack of forgiveness feeds the turmoil and suffering around you. Forgiveness is the key to freedom and peace, and it starts with you. This marker requires you to practice forgiveness so that you can be an active part of spreading peace and beauty throughout this troubled world. Awesome. And I see how that relates to actually like several cards in this reading that you've already gotten. Okay, and so this last card, movement in reverse, says, do you feel as if you're walking in circles, seemingly not getting anywhere? Consider the spiral that travels up and around. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Even backward movement helps you progress and reach your goal. You may need to revisit some of the places where you forgot to look for treasure. Another message is this: lessons need repeating for those who refuse or who are unable to learn them the first time. Consider this another invitation to mastery. So again, that's kind of crazy that it talked about treasure, not seeing where the treasure is buried. And that's like exactly what this card said. And these are from 2 different decks, so that makes it even more interesting. And then it also referenced going around and around in a circle, repeating patterns. And as I mentioned, that seems to be like a real theme in your life right now. So you need to figure out exactly what those patterns are and how to break free from them. Because when you are able to do that, that's when you're going to find that things will change for the better and that you will open up to new opportunities and just growth. Okay. All right, well, that is all. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, and I will be here. Thank you so much.